White Jewel. 1 strawberry, $10. The Shiroi Hoseki looks like it was designed to break your brain. Skin is pure ivory white, fully ripe. The whiter it is, the sweeter it is. The opposite of everything you know. Cut it in half, white inside too. Bright red seeds dot the surface like rubies on porcelain. Up to 50 grams, nearly twice a normal berry. Created by one man in Japan's Saga Prefecture using one critical technique: blocking sunlight. No light means no anthocyanin, the pigment that makes strawberries red. Only 10% of each crop stays perfectly white. The rest get downgraded. The perfect ones ship in individual velvet boxes, like jewelry, because that's what they are. But the next one looks almost identical and almost went extinct. Garden strawberry. You've eaten this your entire life, but technically, you've never eaten a strawberry. That red flesh isn't the fruit. It's accessory tissue, swollen stem material.
The actual fruits are the 200 tiny seeds on the surface. Every single one is its own individual fruit. You've been eating a bouquet of 200 fruits and calling it one thing. The garden strawberry was born in 1764 in Brittany, France, an accidental cross between a Chilean beach plant and a wild Virginia strawberry. Before that, Europeans hadn't seen a strawberry bigger than a grape for 1,500 years. Today, it's 9 million tons a year, but the supermarket version was bred for shipping, not taste. Firmness over flavor, every time. There's a version that flips that entirely. Pineberry. White skin, red seeds. Smaller than a dime. Smells like pineapple. Tastes like pineapple, crossed with strawberry, crossed with something you can't quite name. Dragon fruit, apricot, pear. The pineberry is descended from the same Chilean beach strawberry that fathered the modern garden variety. For 2 centuries, it survived in scattered patches, too small and too soft to ship, commercially invisible. By the early 2000s, it had nearly vanished. A group of Dutch farmers noticed. They rebuilt the variety from almost nothing and released it in 2003. When it hit UK supermarkets in 2010, the internet called it a GMO, a hoax, an edited photo. It wasn't. Just a strawberry that survived long enough to be rediscovered. Completely natural, never engineered. Just old. But not as old as what's next. Wild woodland strawberry. Picture a forest floor in Neolithic Europe. The strawberries looked almost exactly like what still grows in European woodlands today. Fragaria vesca hasn't changed. 1 centimeter wide, the size of your fingernail. Bright ruby red with seeds raised on the surface, not sunken in. The flavor is 10 times more concentrated than anything in a store. French kings grew these at Versailles as a royal delicacy. The problem was never taste. It was scale. Too soft to ship.
Too small for machinery. So the world moved on to bigger, firmer, blander berries. And the woodland strawberry kept growing in forests across Europe, Asia, and North America, exactly as it always had. But one of its relatives was growing in royal gardens 500 years earlier. Musk Strawberry. Fragaria muscata was the strawberry Louis XIV grew at Versailles before the garden strawberry existed. Small, almost round, deep purplish red, darker than any strawberry you'd recognize. The flavor is part strawberry, part raspberry, part something wine-like and musky that no commercial variety has ever replicated. By the early 1800s, it dominated European gardens. Then, it was wiped out. Not by disease, not by drought, but by convenience. Bigger hybrids replaced it in a single generation. Nobody voted to lose it, it just disappeared. Today, you won't find it in any supermarket on Earth. It's critically endangered in the Netherlands. The flavor Louis XIV's court considered the finest in Europe, gone from your reach. But the next one vanished for an even stranger reason. Alpine Strawberry. It fruits for 9 months straight. Most strawberries give you one window, 3 weeks in June. The Alpine produces continuously from spring to first frost. No runners. Tight clump of elongated, deeply red berries with seeds raised on the surface. The flavor is denser and more perfumed than the wild variety, almost floral. French seed company Vilmorin supplied these to King Louis XV. The reason you've never bought one in a store? Too fragile to survive a single day in a supply chain, which means every Alpine strawberry anyone has ever eaten was grown within walking distance of where it was consumed. That's the only way they exist. But the next one is about a color you've never associated with a strawberry. Yellow Wonder. It's gold, fully ripe, fully sweet, and gold.
Yellow Wonder ripens to pale lemon yellow, sometimes buttery amber. Seeds are cream-colored, barely visible. Honey sweet with almost zero acidity. But the most remarkable thing isn't the taste. Birds won't touch it. They're hardwired to find ripe red fruit. A golden berry doesn't register as food. While every other strawberry in your garden gets stripped overnight, Yellow Wonder ripens untouched. Gardeners have known this for centuries. It never reached commercial production. Too small, too delicate. But the next one made it all the way to California and changed the industry. Chandler, released in 1983 by UC Davis. Within a decade, it controlled California strawberry production. Classic conical shape, bright red, glossy, around 20 grams. Growers didn't choose it for appearance. They chose it for flavor. Chandler set a sweetness standard that took 20 years for other varieties to match. The problem is softness. Too soft for trucks hauling fruit 1,000 miles.
So commercial fields dropped it for firmer, blander varieties. Today you find Chandler mostly at pick-your-own farms, places where the berry doesn't need to survive 3 days in a refrigerated truck. If you've ever eaten a strawberry that tasted the way a strawberry is supposed to taste, it was probably a Chandler. But the next one was built to last. Albion. It was patented. U.S. Plant Patent 16228. Albion required a federal patent to exist. UC Davis spent years engineering it to be commercially perfect. Long, symmetrical, deeply conical. Dark red outside, deep pink all the way through. No white hollow core like cheaper varieties you've bought. Firm enough to survive a 1,000-mile truck ride and still taste like something. Up to 50 grams. Fruits from late spring to first frost. The patent expired in 2023. Before that, every nursery selling Albion plants owed royalties to the University of California. You've been eating intellectual property. And there's a strawberry that takes that even further. Elly Amai. 1 strawberry. White box. Paper cushioning. $19. The Elly Amai comes from Kyoto, Japan. Hand-selected for perfect symmetry, flawless skin, exact color, exact size. The brand instructs you to wait 30 minutes after rinsing before eating to let the full aroma develop. It went viral on TikTok when Erewhon in Los Angeles started carrying them. People filmed themselves paying $20 for a single berry. Some called it absurd. Some called it the best thing they'd ever eaten. Both are correct. It represents a centuries-old Japanese tradition of treating fruit as a luxury object. Same culture that produces $200 melons. 1 strawberry, presented like jewelry, eaten like a ceremony. But the most important strawberry on this list isn't the most expensive. Seascape, not the most famous, not the most expensive, but the one most responsible for what you find in stores year-round. Seascape is a California day-neutral variety. Fruits spring through fall, handles heat, stays firm. Behind varieties like it is Driscoll's, the company that controls 34% of all strawberry sales in the United States, with 30 scientists whose only job is developing new berries. Uniform, reliable, visually perfect. You've eaten hundreds of Driscoll strawberries without knowing it. They looked great, they tasted fine. That gap between looking great and tasting great is exactly what the last berry on this list was trying to close. 300 years before any of these existed. Beach strawberry. This is where it all started. Fragaria chiloensis grows wild on the Pacific coast from Alaska to Chile. Low ground cover, thick glossy leaves, small red berries with white flesh inside. In 1714, a French military spy named Amédée François Fraisier noticed these plants growing in Chile and brought 5 specimens back to France. Planted alongside Virginia wild strawberries already in European gardens, they accidentally crossed. That cross became Fragaria cross ananassa, the ancestor of every commercial strawberry on the planet. Every variety on this list, every strawberry you have ever eaten, all of it traced back to 5 plants smuggled out of Chile by one spy 300 years ago.